Gerald, back once again. This is a big fight for you, though, right? Particularly the last fight on your current UFC contract. Is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. So, does that change anything for you? I mean, is there an extra feeling of pressure or anything like that going in here?
More so because I'm coming off 2 losses than it's the last fight on the contract. If I would have got the right call in the last fight, it'd be in a little different situation. But there's a little more pressure because you don't want 3 in a row. You don't want 2 in a row or any losses at all. But you definitely don't want 3.
Yeah, and I mean that's something maybe a lot of like your casual fans aren't completely aware of. Like these little decisions or things that go there. Like that's the difference between you moving up to a certain tier on like your deal or whatever. How much does that cause internal frustration just knowing like I should be here, but now I'm here?
It's a lot, let me tell you, because not only in this instance does my pay stays the same. It doesn't go up when it should have gone up. I only get paid, half of what I could have potentially made on top of that. And now I'm in a situation where, if I don't go out there and have a great performance, I'm, not in a good spot for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it used to be back in the day. It's like 3 losses in the UFC, you're 100% done. Now you see guys get longer leashes. BJ Penn's about to fight again on his 7th loss in a row. I mean, do you feel like it's more important the performances? Like you're a guy who's all his fights almost end in a stoppage and everything. We know what we're going to get from you. Win or lose, it's going to be a great, exciting fight. Do you feel like carry more pride in that side of it too as well? Obviously, you'd like to win all of them, but
right, yeah, no, I think how you fight definitely makes a difference.
Yeah.
I mean, they've made some concessions for people that, they might have lost more than 3 in a row or have, as many losses and wins or even more losses. But if you come to fight, that's what they look for. So they, I remember Dana saying he looks for people that he thinks in the future can be a champion and guys that bring the fight. And, my last fight was a decision, but even there I was still hunting the submission the whole time.
Yeah.
And, coming in short notice, modified the game plan a little bit, fought maybe a little bit differently than normal. So, but, with me and Trevin, you know what you're going to get. One of us is going to sleep one way or the other.
Yeah, what do you modify here in that balance too, right? Because I feel like the win here is extremely important as well. But I'm sure you want to, impress for the next contract and all those kind of things. Are you prioritizing the win above everything else going in there for this one?
I mean, I'm definitely prioritizing the win. But the nice thing about that is like the way I fight.
Yeah.
I think I only have 5 decisions, maybe less than that.
Yeah.
So the way I fight already, I'm looking for the finish, and I'm going to be in positions where, that's going to cater to getting the finish for me, or at least put me in a position where the other guy's got to fight me.
Mm-hmm.
So even if there's not a finish, usually it's going to be an exciting fight. Last time was more of a grappling match, but this guy, I'm not going to grapple with him as much as I don't think anyone would think. So it's going to be a lot more on the feet.
Yeah, is that just because of the skill set and the background that he brings into this matchup?
But it's just how I think we match up stylistically.
Yeah.
He's a decent grappler as well, and I think he's hard to take down. He moves back a lot and darts in, so it's kind of hard to take a guy down like that unless you can time it really well. So I think it's going to be a lot more of a stand-up battle.
Yeah, and I believe he's coming off his first loss. When you're facing a fighter like that, they were probably on such a high, riding up to an undefeated record, and then that confidence takes a bit of a hit. Do you go in there with do you take that into account at all? Maybe he might be a little unsure of himself at the beginning of the fight, maybe reaffirm some doubt into his mind, or does the fact, records, how many losses, that kind of stuff factor into it at all?
It affects everybody differently. So, if I see that he's being kind of tentative, and my plan is to push the pace anyway and kind of stay in his face. If I see that he's kind of unsure, second-guessing stuff, I'm going to capitalize on it. But I'm just going to assume that I'm fighting the best Trevin Giles that's ever stepped in there. So, I'm going to expect him to dart in and out, try and throw a big right hand, shoot some heavy takedowns, come back up with punches and stuff like that. But, I guess we'll find out on Saturday whether or not that's really getting into his head. For me, it's like, I've lost before. I've been there, done that. And especially off this last one, if anything, I'm more hungry because most people don't feel like that should have been a loss.
Mm-hmm. And when obviously you win here, then it kind of opens the doors for you. But is this, are you comfortable in saying this is where you want to be, going forward? Are you going to try to look around and see what other potential opportunities may be around here, win or lose? Or is this, do you feel as long as the terms are right, the UFC is where you want to be?
I want to make the UFC my home. I've said that pretty much since I got here. I want to be here to stay if I can. If I can't, then that's something that, I still want to make a living doing what I love. But for right now, the plan is to get this win and stay in the UFC.